Moo, a top hacker in the technologically advanced world. But he is extremely fond of playing games and has a strong craving for food. He has recently set his sights on a world gaming masterpiece, the virtual online game Pet World. Moo, who had no money to spend money on, had a crooked idea. Download Pet World and change it to your own private server. I specially made a golden finger for myself in the game. As a result, Gold Finger and Pet World data conflicted, and the game deck continuously generated new data until it was filled and exploded. With the explosion, Moo traveled to the gaming world. Water Group 537843666 keywords of the novel. Starting from training slime without pop-ups, starting from training slime, downloading the complete TXT collection, starting from training slime, reading the latest chapters. Chapter 1. The Cowherd Hanging on a Tree. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1. The Cowherd Hanging on a Tree. Liege, are you almost at the nursery? The kitten is almost done, Yushi said anxiously. Gently holding the fiery red kitten in her arms, the kitten was suffering from illness and looked like it was about to die. The kitten in her arms is the Meow fire cat, a rare fire pet. Not long after hatching, the kitten couldn't stand up after hatching and was diagnosed with a rare disease by a doctor. We urgently need to go to the fire cultivation park for treatment. Chen Lai drove quickly to avoid trees and large rocks that had fallen on the road. Last night, Qingchao City experienced a rare level 8 strong wind, and newly planted trees on the roadside were blown off one after another. The large stones on the roadside were also moved by the strong wind, blocking the center of the road. Chen Lai comforted while driving. Don't worry, it's almost here. I remember the pet farm is nearby and hasn't been back for too long. You can use your phone map to search for its location first. Yushi took out her phone and quickly opened the phone map. Liege, what is the name of that pet farm? Chen Lai recalled for a moment, unsure, and said, it seems like it's called the Ideal Pet Breeding Park. Yes, that's right, it's called the Ideal Pet Breeding Park. Liege, no, it's not on the phone map, may you remember it wrong. Yushi couldn't find the Ideal Breeding Park on her mobile phone map, and there was no pet breeding park nearby. Chen Lai confidently said, it's impossible. The Ideal Breeding Park is Qingchao City, the best fire pet breeding park, quite famous. Yushi felt a bit uneasy and searched on her phone for the best fire pet breeding park in Qingchao City. Qingchao City is located on the Qingchao Plain, with year-round sunshine, pleasant climate, lush green grass, and clear river water. It is a paradise for grass and insect pets to survive. In order to protect grassland and insect pets, provide a safe and comfortable living environment, maintain the ecological environment of Qingchao City, and prevent grassland fires, Qingchao City has issued a policy to reduce the number of fire pets on the Qingchao Plain, known as the Fire Ban Order. In 1120, rectification was carried out and the Fire Cultivation Park and Fire Taoist Hall were uniformly abolished. There is no Fire Cultivation Park in Qingchao City. Yushi didn't watch directly, she used voice broadcasting instead. After the sweet voice of the little sister in the voice broadcast finished speaking, Chen Lai was dumbfounded. 1120, last New Year. This year is 1121. The meaning is that there was no fire pet breeding park last year. Can the kitten still be saved? Don't panic, the pet breeding grounds are approaching, maybe they haven't been completely abolished yet, Chen Lai said nervously. Before Yushi panicked, Chen Lai panicked. Remind, sit down. Step on the accelerator and sprint out of the city. The suburbs are a vast expanse of grassland, with no big trees falling on the road. Due to the strong wind last night, there were few vehicles driving on the road. Chen Lai continuously stepped on the accelerator to accelerate. 120 yards. 130 yards. 150 yards. 280 yards. The black car raced past like black lightning. The journey of over 10 minutes has been shortened to 3 minutes. The two of them got off the car and were stunned by the scene in front of them. The gate of the cultivation park is crooked, the walls have collapsed, and the plaque on the door is shattered to the ground. It is barely visible from the fragments that the ideal cultivation park has been cultivated with the character, soil. The broken plaque on this door is really unbelievable, and even a level 8 strong wind cannot do such a thing. At least a level 10 strong wind can do it. After being stunned for a long time, Meow Fire Cat let out a weak and powerless cry. Meow. Awakening the two from their daze, Tsuyushi looked at the kitten with heartache and gave her a trainer skill. Appease. Startled Chenlai, he quickly said, Tsuyushi, you haven't become a trainer yet. Forcibly releasing the trainer's skills puts a great mental burden on you. With a stroke of comfort, Tsuyushi's pretty face turned white and she almost fell to the ground. Tsuyushi shook her head and blamed herself, it's okay, it's my fault. If it weren't for the contract between Meow Fire Cat and me, I wouldn't have gotten this strange disease. Chenlai quickly comforted and said, it's not your fault. We can't blame you, we can only blame you. Chenlai's words suddenly came to an abrupt end. Who's to blame? It seems like it's really your fault, but I can't blame you entirely. Blame your talent for being too strong, it's also a mistake. Trainers contract pets and share their talents with each other. There are many talents for trainers, including strength, agility, flame affinity, ice affinity, thunder affinity. The trainer's talent is strength, and for contract strength type pets, the strength of strength type pets will become stronger. The trainer's talent is thunder affinity, and the stronger the power of thunder pets, the more they contract with thunder pets. Tsuyushi's trainer talent is agility, but her talent is too strong, affecting the Meow Fire Cat in her pet egg. Meow Fire Cat is not a sensitive pet beast, which causes its talent to be modified to become more sensitive and its body to become softer. Newborn kittens suffer from this level of modification. At birth, due to the influence of the trainer's talent, he suffered from fire-induced chondropathy. We urgently need to go to the fire pet breeding park for treatment. Looking at the dilapidated cultivation garden in front of me, it doesn't look like it. Normally, Chenlai would definitely turn around and leave. He wouldn't even glance at this kind of dilapidated cultivation garden. But now he can't tolerate being picky. There are no other fire cultivation parks in Qingqiao City, and time is also not allowed. If Meow Fire Cat does not receive timely treatment, it may be in danger of life. Even if it barely survives, the sequelae are not small. Meow Fire Cat is Tsuyushi's first pet, and the first pet is extremely important to the trainer. If Meow Fire Cat leaves sequelae, it will be detrimental to Tsuyushi's future development and may even leave a psychological shadow on her. Chenlai remembered before setting off this morning, promising Tsuyushi that he would find the best fire pet breeding facility for her treatment. Looking at the scene before him again, Chenlai couldn't resist slapping himself in the face. Chenlai gritted his teeth and said, let's go in and take a look. Maybe there's still some help. As soon as you enter, what catches your eye is a chaotic small ecosystem. The water in the middle pond was filled with rainwater, and the rockery beside the pond fell to the ground. Several big trees leaned down. The most ferocious fallen trees have been in close contact with the ground, and the roof of houses built of plastic foam has been blown away. The cultivation garden is like a battlefield, chaotic and desolate. It's not as good as the scene in front of the gate. Chenlai shouted loudly, is there anyone? Is there anyone? I shouted 3 times, but no one responded. Chenlai looked disappointed, as if the cultivation garden was really abandoned. He apologized and said, Tsuyushi, this time it's Lai Gu who apologized to you. I will go to the Flame Canyon secret realm to find a better and better pet for you. Tsuyushi shook her head wearily and said dejectedly, it's not Lai Ge's fault. No one expected that Qingqiao City would close all the fire breeding gardens. I am very grateful that Lai Gu could bring me here. Let's go back to Qingchao City quickly. I'm afraid Meow Fire Cat will not be able to hold on anymore. Meow Fire Cats are lethargic and their nasal breathing is gradually weakening, and they may die at any time. Okay, let's go back, Chen Lai said with a heavy expression. The two of them turned their heads and took 2 steps, and a voice of hope came from behind. Someone. Chen Lai suddenly turned his head, but there was still no one behind him. Where are you? Why didn't I see you? The voice exclaimed, I am here, above the big tree. Chen Lai looked up at the tallest tree, and there was indeed a figure on it. Chen Lai took a few steps and came up to him, seeing a young man hanging naked and disheveled on a tree, with only one pair of underwear on his body. The young man said, Could you please help me move a ladder? I'll hang it on it. The ladder is in that intact room, the door is locked, the key is missing, just kick it open. Chen Lai took a look and found that there was no room in perfect condition, so he thought it was troublesome to waste time looking for it. Summon the divine fire monkey from the pet space. Chen Lai pointed to the ground, a red light shot out from his finger, and a miraculous monkey wrapped in blazing flames appeared. Divine fire monkey, could you please restrain the flames and save the person hanging from the tree? The divine fire monkey looked at the boy on the tree and then at its owner, with a displeased expression and a hint of anger from waking up. Call me out and let me save a boy who is hanging 7 meters tall. Chen Lai and the divine fire monkey have a similar heart. The master is somewhat overqualified and underutilized, isn't he? Chen Lai coughed twice and said, Time is tight, please be polite. If you have anything to ask someone, please. The flame of the divine fire monkey converged and lightly jumped, like a red stream of light, holding down the boy hanging from the tree. The divine fire monkey hugged him down with the princess's embrace. As soon as he landed, the boy and Chen Lai exchanged a glance. The boy's face was a bit awkward, but he didn't expect his first princess to hug him, not a woman. But was held by a monkey princess and quickly jumped down. The young man was naked, wearing SpongeBob SquarePants and Pi Daxing's underwear, hugging fists, and exuding an ancient hero style. Thank you very much. The young man looked up twice and saw the person who had rescued him. One had dark skin and sharp eyes, with a steel-like temperament on his body, which was somewhat like that of a soldier. On the other hand, the girl wore a blue and white off-the-shoulder long dress, with her beautiful collarbone faintly visible. The fabric of the dress was as white as bright, slightly reflective, like an angel walking on earth. The hem of the skirt is curved from low to high, elegantly raised slightly, revealing the beautiful legs of the young girl, which are as white and slender as jade. The delicate face of the young girl was slightly tired, and her eyes were filled with guilt and worry, staring fixedly at the kitten in her arms. End of this chapter. Chapter 2. Meow Fire Cat. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2. Meow Fire Cat. Not good, there's a woman. The beads of his eyes spun rapidly, turning left and right, and he caught a glimpse of a familiar blue in his eyes. The young man ran over quickly, wearing a pair of denim overalls and a teddy bear T-shirt not far away. Ignoring the dampness and coldness, he quickly put on the clothes soaked in rainwater. If it were 2 old men, Goo Goo wouldn't be in a hurry to wear them. After all, clothes soaked in rainwater are really uncomfortable to wear, and it's easy to catch a cold and get rheumatism. But there was a woman at the scene, still a beautiful and unattractive girl. That girl is dressed well. Although she doesn't know what brand it is, Goo Goo still recognizes the fabric, which is definitely silk vomited by senior-level insect pets. Take it and burn it with fire, cut it with a knife, and it's intact. A young girl is either rich or noble, and if she thinks she is playing hooliganism. Even if Goo Goo jumps into the Yellow River, he cannot wash it clean. The crime of hooliganism in the Pet Alliance is very heinous, with a wide definition. If a man's clothes do not cover his body, he is playing hooliganism. This young man is quite peculiar, exuding a quirky aura throughout his body. Chen Lai couldn't help but joke, "Little brother, are you playing with performance art?" Gu Gu tidied up his wet clothes. "Hey, stop talking. Last night, the strong wind came up and it rained rainstorm, which shocked 10 cows at home. I hurried to put the cows in the barn. I didn't know that the strong wind was so fierce that it blew me away. I circled around in the sky several times and even rolled away my clothes. I couldn't even protect my underwear, so I hung it on a tree and slept for a whole day. It was so cold that I died. By the way, what are you doing here?" Chen Lai squinted his eyes, feeling that there was something in the young man's words. The level 8 strong wind can indeed blow people away, but it will never blow in circles, because last night's level 8 strong wind was a diagonal flow wind. The wind was straight, and it would only blow towards the southeast. Chen Lai couldn't figure out what kind of wind could take away the cowboy overalls worn by the teenagers. The young man appeared very casual, but he couldn't hide Chen Lai's sharp gaze. Teenagers who seem to be as steady as old dogs are in a panic. His hands are shaking and he is nervous. If Gu Gu knew Chen Lai's thoughts, he would definitely exclaim that his mind was filled with strange things. After blowing the cold wind all night on the tree and wearing wet clothes, even on summer mornings, it was still a cold batch. Can he not shake his hands? Chen Lai's tone was somewhat urgent. "We are here at the Ideal Cultivation Park to see the Gu family for the treatment of Meow Fire Cat. May I ask if the Gu family is there?" Gu Ji's expression was strange. "Don't go to the pet hospital for medical treatment, come to the pet breeding park. I haven't heard of the Gu family getting medical treatment, and the Gu family accidentally broke into the ruins 5 years ago and died from serious injuries." Upon hearing the death of the Gu family, Chen Lai's heart sank instantly to the bottom of the sea. Chen Lai's expression was dazed, and he looked at Su Yushi, who was working hard to maintain the life of the Meow Fire Cat. His lips turned white, and he felt guilty in his heart. Since getting off the car, Su Yushi has been exhausting her mental energy to release and soothe, maintaining the life of the kitten. Soothing does not have a therapeutic effect on the body, it can only alleviate the pain of kittens due to the disease, which is very painful due to the lack of fire-induced chondropathy. Seeing Chen Lai's dazed expression, he stared at the kitten in the girl's arms without saying a word. Gu Gu starts his own system exploration. Name: Meow Fire Cat. Gender: female. Race: Scoring Fire Cat. Contract: Owner. Talent: Dangerous Fire. Attribute: Fire Type. Status: Life in danger. Congenital fire-induced chondropathy. Level: Beginner Level 1. Skill: None. Genetic skills: Meow Fist, Cat Claw Skill, Latent, Eye of Fire. Potential value: 108. Gu Gu looked at the data and almost exclaimed, "What kind of cat is this? The best among the best." Talent: Dangerous Fire, a rare talent for fire pets. Only 10,000 fire pets have the possibility of producing one dangerous fire talent. Dangerous Fire, as the name suggests. A dangerous flame. The flames of a pet alone can transform into a special flame. Dangerous Fire. Dangerous Fire has strong killing power and penetration, and even if it comes into contact with dangerous fire, it will not die or peel off its skin. Even fire pets with fire resistance talents cannot withstand damage. Even the user themselves cannot withstand the damage of spitting out flames. Lose 800 from oneself and harm 3,000 from the enemy. There are actually 4 genetic skills, Meow Meow Fist and Cat Claw Skill, which are relatively ordinary and can be learned the day after tomorrow. Latency is a bit special, and this skill is more innate. Pets without talent are basically not able to learn it. Eye of Fire, a rare skill that can only be inherited and cannot be learned. Dragging enemies into a world of flames, using flames to grill enemies, tormenting their minds. Pets drawn into the eye of fire often have psychological shadows after battles, rejecting flames, fearing them, not rescuing them in time, and possibly lifelong fear of fire. This is a rare magical skill. The key is that this skill and talent are a perfect match for fire danger, replacing all the flames in the flame world of Fire Eye with fire danger. Although there is still no substantial damage, the mental damage has increased tenfold. Powerful enough to make fire pets afraid of flames. Goo was afraid to think about it. The final potential value is also not right. The highest potential value of Meow Fire Cat's race is only 90. Why is she so unique, surprisingly breaking 100? Cultivate a king level that is appropriate and secure for the future. Unfortunately, it has already been contracted by someone, otherwise Goo really wanted it, it would be a great achievement. Goo, who is used to seeing strong winds and waves, was moved. Hurry up, put down the Meow Fire Cat, Goo hurriedly said. Don't worry about not being familiar with the other person yet, and rashly intervene in the treatment. Goo couldn't bear such a top-notch kitten to die young like this. Su Yushi used excessive comfort and was lost in thought. Suddenly, she heard a sound of letting go and, in a daze, obediently placed the Meow Fire Cat on the grass. Then he forced himself to kneel on the grass, suppressing drowsiness and blinking his eyes. It is evident that she is very tired. Goo jumped directly to the kitten, closed her eyes, and rubbed her hands together. The palms of both hands are filled with a green hue, gradually increasing and shimmering with small dots of light. Spread your hands and aim at Meow Fire Cat, green light covering Meow Fire Cat's entire body. Meow Fire Cat regained its vitality and let out a comfortable cry with squinted eyes. Chenlai saw this scene and reignited hope. While treating, Goo said with a hint of dissatisfaction, "You look extraordinary in your attire, I believe you must be wealthy. Why can't you even afford to hire a pet doctor? In half an hour, this cat will undoubtedly die." A top-notch cat almost died due to this small flaw. Chenlai didn't care about Gu Ji's tone and said with concern, "Little brother, is that a pet doctor? Is Meow Fire Cat still saved?" "Of course there is help. Congenital fire-induced chondropathy is a minor ailment that I don't know how you caused. It almost killed Meow Fire Cat." Goo stopped treatment and gently picked up the kitten. Chenlai was a little convinced when he heard Goo calling out the cause of the illness. Is congenital febrile chondropathy a disease? It's a disease. Is it easy to treat? Good governance. In Gu Ji's view, in the pet world where pets are in heaven and earth, and technology is advanced, congenital febrile chondropathy is incurable. It is easier to treat than a cold. A cold cannot root out, while congenital febrile chondropathy can root out. Goo can provide over 100 sets of light therapy plans. Upon hearing that there was help, Su Yushi, who was tense and mentally exhausted, collapsed on the grass in an instant. Meow Fire Cat is temporarily fine. It is suspected that its owner, Su Yushi, has fainted again. Goo quickly handed Meow Fire Cat to Chenlai and went forward to show Su Yushi. The pet is already very weak, if her owner has another accident. Even if Gu Ji's skillful hands are revived and he is promoted to the master-level pet doctor, he cannot be saved. A contract between pets and humans, where the soul of a pet is damaged in the event of a human accident, and the soul of a pet in the event of a pet accident is damaged. If everything is okay normally, you can pay a high price to warm up and recover. But now Meow Fire Cat's life is in danger. Goo uses healing to barely stabilize Meow Fire Cat's state. If his soul is damaged again, Meow Fire Cat will instantly die. Goo felt the pulse for the young girl, with a slightly urgent heartbeat. She placed her right hand with 2 fingers on her nostrils, breathing normally, and her life was stable. After checking the situation, Goo also admired this girl. She was too hard-working, and in a short period of time, she released her 8 hair to soothe her. What is the concept of 8 hair calming? A new trainer can fully release calming, 5 hair calming, and spiritual strength will reach its limit. Gugu clearly felt that the girl in front of him had not yet become a new trainer. It also indirectly confirms that this girl is extraordinary, with long legs. White, thin, and long, with big and long legs for the wealthy. Gugu hugged her well, maybe she would soar into the sky. Say goodbye to the closed pet farm and live a happy and fulfilling life. Gu Ji's eyes were hot, and he was devoted to Meow Fire Cat and Su Yushi. Su Yushi's excessive consumption of mental energy may be ruin for ordinary people, but it is a small matter for wealthy people. Find some soul-warming medicine. Chen Lai looked at Gu Ji's professional doctor's methods and couldn't help but ask, "Little brother, is he still a human doctor?" Gugu clasped his hands together again and released the pet doctor skill. Healing. Of course not, I am a cultivator, I just know how to do some miscellaneous things, Gugu said calmly. Chen Lai's mouth twitched slightly, but his heart was pleasantly surprised. The more capable the young man in front of him was, the greater the chance of curing Meow Fire Cat. End of this chapter. Chapter 3. The Mysteries of the Strong Wind. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3 The Mysteries of the Strong Wind. Su Yushi, how is she doing? Chen Lai asked with some concern. Is Su Yushi? The name is quite beautiful, and the person is also quite beautiful. She must be a good person who cares so much about and takes care of her pets, even if it means exhausting her mental energy. People who love small animals must have good character. She must be a good thigh. Gugu praised in his heart. It's not a big deal, her mental strength is overdrawn to the limit. If she needs a few comforts, it will become a soul overdraft. Gugu stopped. He became a new pet doctor a while ago and can release his skill healing 3 times a day, which is the limit. The cure mainly targets pet injuries and is not very useful for mental exhaustion. The only use is to turn Su Yushi's coma into a coma, making her sleep more comfortable. The last cure is left for Meow Fire Cat to remain in a stable state. Upon hearing Gu Ji's words, Chen Lai was extremely scared. Su Yushi really had an accident. Not to mention that her family wouldn't let him go, he himself wouldn't forgive him in his heart. What are you really doing? Kind-hearted to send Meow Fire Cat for treatment, almost sending 1 cat and 1 person away. Why did things develop so strangely? Chen Lai spoke softly, Doctor, is there any way to save Su Yushi from extreme mental exhaustion? There is a treatment plan that does not leave any sequelae, and I am willing to do anything at all costs. Gugu rolled his eyes as he addressed Chen Lai. From being a little brother at the beginning, he has now become a doctor again, and it has become quite fast. It's really difficult for Chen Lai. Chen Lai is 1.89 meters tall, with a strong and masculine voice and soft language. He has already lowered his posture very low. Gugu looked at Chen Lai and his eyes were not right, his tone was not good. This kind of common sense question actually asks me. Brother, your strength and the knowledge you match seriously do not match. Shouldn't pets be bought? After speaking, Gugu glanced at the divine fire monkey that had been confiscated into the pet space. Name. Divine fire monkey. Gender. Race. Contract. Gender, race, contract, these 3 things are asking questions, which is outrageous. I can tell from everything that I know about the divine fire monkey, but my own system doesn't work, indicating that my game system is really struggling. Gender, don't even guess it's male. Because only male fire monkeys can evolve into divine fire monkeys, while female fire monkeys will evolve into divine fire monkeys. Is race still worth mentioning? It must be a monkey. Can a pet that runs out of a pet space not be contracted, as anyone with a discerning eye can see? Some of our own systems are really rigid, shivering and cold. Artificial intelligence doesn't send a single one. The divine fire monkey is not happy. He actually said that I was bought by the owner. Fortunately, I politely picked you up with a princess's embrace. It's really heartless. The divine fire monkey grinned and gave Gugu a fierce blow. Upon seeing this, Chenlai quickly retrieved the divine fire monkey, afraid of offending Gugu. Meow fire cat is on the brink of death, Suyushi faints and seeks help from others. Gugu grinned at the divine fire monkey and didn't take it to heart. After all, the monkey just rescued him from the tree, right? Although given some time, Gugu can still come down. You can't kill someone just because they show their teeth. Right. 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 Chen Liejia smiled and said, Doctor, I'm joking. I'm a combat trainer, the kind of expert who knows more or less about common sense. Gugu suddenly realized that he was a specialized combat trainer. It's normal to not understand common sense. Specialized combat trainer, a relatively extreme profession. Specialize in combat command, don't worry about anything else. Cultivate pet animals and send them to specialized trainers for cultivation. If a pet animal falls ill, send it to a pet doctor for treatment. At first glance, there is not much difference from an ordinary trainer, but in essence, there is a significant difference. Specialized combat trainers often have a dedicated team behind them to assist and maximize their pet abilities. Specialized combat trainers have received professional training in combat command, with no distractions and focus solely on combat. The strength they unleash is 5 times or even more than that of ordinary trainers. At the same time, specialized combat trainers are also iron and silly, and they don't know the common sense that many people know. For example, what their pets eat, this group of iron fools are not clear, they only know that they should be eating the bag of food with the head of the divine fire monkey. Gugu doesn't like specialized combat trainers. Specialized combat trainers need to be wealthy and talented to play. Without money or support from a large team, playing as a specialized combat trainer is like seeking death. Pet beasts become useless after less than a month. A true trainer is someone who understands everything, cultivates knowledge, understands illness, and understands wilderness life. Although not outstanding and mediocre, I am responsible for my pets and can support them even without money. Knowing Chenlai's iron and silly nature, Gugu didn't find him so unpleasant anymore. Gugu whispered, the extreme overdraft of spiritual power is like a terminal illness for ordinary people. For those with strong financial strength, a minor ailment can be solved by taking mild soul-warming medicine. The better the quality of the soul-warming medicine, the better it will recover. Chenlai immediately took out a satellite-encrypted phone and made an unknown phone call. Xiao Shen, please help me immediately retrieve the mildest soul-warming medicine from the warehouse and use teleportation to deliver it to the ideal cultivation park in Qingqiao City. Please act quickly. Suyushi's mental strength is extremely overdrawn, her body is weak, and she is prone to catching cold. Gugu picked up Suyushi and headed towards the house. Chenlai was so shocked that his eyes were about to burst out. Gugu felt the graceful touch and was open-hearted, definitely not taking advantage. It's to think it's better to hold your thighs. I am holding a beautiful girl in my arms, and I will definitely hold the future wealthy owner. Gugu walked for a while, but didn't hear any movement behind her. When she turned around, she saw Chenlai standing in place with a big-eyed expression. Gugu said unhappily, "Hi, big brother, what are you doing? Time is tight, the task is heavy, and I am a novice pet doctor. Healing can only treat injuries, and the condition of Meow Fire Cat can only last for a short period of time." Chenlai quickly took a few steps and came behind Gugu. Gugu was stunned when he saw his own home and couldn't believe that the disaster scene in front of him was his own home. The door was thrown away, leaving only one screw stubbornly persevering. The room was full of ups and downs, with the sofa standing upside down blocking the aisle. Fragments of vases scattered throughout the room, and glass was everywhere. The TV is even more unbearable, divided into two ends, one inside the house and the other outside the window. Goo Goo took a deep breath and held back. Carefully place your gold lord against the wall. Chen Lai dared not speak on the side. At this moment, the doctor's anger was at its peak, afraid that he would speak to stimulate the doctor's emotions. The doctor was so excited that he refused to save him. I have truly become a sinner. Goo Goo went to the house alone, but his bedroom did not escape the devastation. The wardrobe flipped 180 degrees, clothes scattered in every corner, and the bed was even cooler, lying intimately on the ground. These are all his last assets. Window, 300 gate, 800 sofa, 12,000 television, 5,000 yuan bed, 1,008 wardrobe, 3,000 a total of 12,100 renminbi. Why is Goo Goo so clear about the belongings and property at home? That's because since last year, Qingqiao City has issued a no-fire order prohibiting the sale of food for fire pets, prohibiting the cultivation of fire pets in breeding farms, and even confiscating the operation qualifications of breeding farms. Goo Goo lost his source of income, his family's wealth plummeted day and night, and he still had 10 cows to feed at home. It's almost time for the high school Beast Cup competition again, and Goo Goo is ready to take a risk by selling all the furniture. The buyers have all found it and are going to the black market to buy those 10,000 yuan pet eggs from an unscrupulous source. By relying on the system to detect leaks, select a high-quality egg. Become a novice trainer and embark on an adventure journey. The last hope was destroyed in a level 8 strong wind. Goo Goo knew that there was something suspicious with the strong wind last night. Goo Goo had long known about the strong wind attacking Qingqiao City while reading the news, so he had to close the cows early before going to bed. When a strong wind struck, the cows should have been hiding in the cowshed and could not have escaped. As a result, the cows ran out of the cowshed in a swarm, similar to being chased by fierce beasts behind them. Cows are the most precious wealth left to Goo Goo by his parents. Goo Goo cannot let them go unchecked, so he ran out of the house to drive the cows back. A strange wind blew Goo Goo into the sky, circling around a few times. By the way, I blew away Goo Ji's overalls. Blow away the suspenders. The clothes that were connected up and down were blown away by the strange wind. Do you dare to believe it? Fortunately, Goo Goo held on to the bottom line, otherwise he wouldn't be able to meet anyone today. The most outrageous thing is that the house was also ravaged by strong winds. Obvious disguise and fraud, strong winds blowing into the house. Falsifying is not intentional. Disguising the strong wind to blow open the doors and windows, causing chaos inside the house. Doesn't that silly know that my window was sealed by a wooden board? Doors also require thicker locks. Goo Goo has a good temper and is also very angry. I have taken note of this grudge. I want you to go to the bathroom without toilet paper, watch TV without a remote control, and drink water that smells like almonds. Some kind of toxin is almond-flavored, making you feel anxious and fearful every day. Goo Goo imagined for a moment to ease his depressed mood. Anyone who inexplicably loses 10 cows, gets teased and hung on a tree, and their belongings are smashed up will be angry. Goo Goo took a deep breath and pondered for a few seconds, unable to figure out who did it, with no clue at all. Never mind, there must be a way for the car to reach the front of the mountain, and the boat will naturally go straight at the bridgehead. It's meaningless to dwell on who that person is, living well in front of them is the key. Now there is a top-notch cat waiting for me to save. End of this chapter. Chapter 4. Flame Moo Moo. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Chapter 4. Flame Moo Moo. Organize your emotions, and Goo Goo finds the inflatable mattress in the wardrobe. The inflatable mattress was not damaged, and Goo Goo breathed a sigh of relief. The inflatable mattress was originally designed for Goo Goo to sleep after selling furniture. It seems that it was used in advance, but the furniture was not sold, so it was used. I feel a bit tired. Chen Lai and Gu Gu teamed up to make room in the messy room. Spread an inflatable mattress and let Su Yushi lie on it. After settling down Su Yushi, Gu Gu began to work on the condition of Meow Fire Cat. First, we need to understand the specific situation, so that Gu Gu can prescribe the right medicine. So he asked, Meow Fire Cats suffer from congenital fire-induced chondropathy, but as far as I know, Meow Fire Cats will not suffer from fire-induced chondropathy, let alone congenital ones. I need to understand the cause of the illness. Improper treatment can damage the potential value of cats' and seriously harm their lives. Chen Lai said in detail, Meow Fire Cat got this disease because of Su Yushi. Meow Fire Cat was still in a pet egg, so he made a contract with Su Yushi. Su Yushi's trainer was too sensitive and forcefully changed Meow Fire Cat's qualifications, resulting in malnutrition and contracting this disease. Gu Gu asked a question, if you're sick, you should see a doctor. Why do you need to see the Gu family? The Gu family and his wife are their own parents. As soon as this person arrived, they asked their parents. Coupled with the strange wind last night, Gu Gu had doubts. Chen Lai explained, after seeing a doctor, they said he couldn't cure him and he had to seek treatment from a fire-type cultivation garden. I used to be from Qingqiao City and often sent my pets to the ideal cultivation garden. I am very familiar with the ideal cultivation garden and know that it is a fire-type cultivation garden, so that's why I wanted to seek treatment from the Gu family. Gu Gu frowned and said, nonsense. Congenital deficiency of fire and soft bone disease sounds quite frightening. Simply put, it means deficiency of fire and calcium. Supplementing with ignition elements and calcium can cure it. Gu Gu said again, the simplest, quickest, and best way is to drink a bottle of fiery milk with a blazing flame. Chen Lai was a bit confused. Meow Fire Cat almost died, and Su Yushi's mental strength was exhausted and she fainted. Such a dangerous situation can be cured with just a glass of ordinary flame milk. The solution is so simple, but Chen Lai is a bit skeptical. It shouldn't be fooling oneself. Chen Lai squinted his eyes and said, Doctor, shouldn't you lie to me? Meow Fire Cat looks so miserable. You told me that Meow Fire Cat just lacks fire and calcium. Do you think I can believe it? Gu Gu helped his forehead, and indeed, he was called the specialized combat trainer Tai Henin online, which is not wrong. I had no choice but to patiently explain, Meow Fire Cat's congenital lack of fire chondropathy is not serious at all. After all, chondropathy is not brittle bone disease, and brittle bone disease is truly serious. If you move around casually, bones will break. Gu Gu grabbed the forelimbs of Meow Fire Cat and bent them to demonstrate to Chen Lai. Chen Lai was so scared that he almost thought Gu Gu was plotting to harm Meow Fire Cat. Osteocrosis does not cause bone fracture, it is a benign disease. Osteocrosis is caused by poor bone flexibility, not a bad thing. Too much collagen in bones leads to poor bone marrow hematopoietic function and insufficient blood. The weakness of cats is caused by ischemia. Just take a look at cats' blood vessels to understand. Gu Gu flipped over the Meow Fire Cat, with all 4 feet facing upwards, revealing its tender white belly. Use your fingers to feel it. Chen Lai saw Gu Ji's serious matter and said. Chen Lai had even greater doubts in his heart, whether he believed in a professional pet doctor or in the strange young man in front of him. Suddenly, Chen Lai remained deadlocked and motionless. He felt that his brain capacity was not enough. He heard that there was a type of scammer who would first come up with some facts to make people believe him, and then use false and true information to deceive the other party, gradually falling into his trap. The young man in front of me must not be this kind of scammer. Hey, what are you thinking? You are a specialized combat trainer with all your talents in commanding battles. You should do what you need to do, thinking is not something you can think of. Gu Gu sighed, and even though his brain was not good, he insisted on using it. That's enough, Gu Gu continued to remind him. Seeing is believing, hearing is believing. What you should do now is not to be silly, but to report what you have seen and heard to your team behind the scenes. Seeing that Chenlai had not moved yet, Gugu grabbed his hand and touched the belly of Meow Fire Cat. Meow Fire Cats are newly born, with relatively transparent skin and visible blood vessels. Chenlai's fingers pressed tightly against the belly of the Meow Fire Cat, and his mental energy penetrated into it, feeling it carefully. Sure enough, the blood flow in the blood vessels is very slow. Chenlai had some faith in Gugu, but is it really that simple? There must be something wrong. Gugu combs the hair of Meow Fire Cat, and a special combing method can accelerate the blood circulation of Meow Fire Cat. Gugu popularized common sense and said, many diseases that sound scary are not serious illnesses for pet beasts. Pet beasts have a strong physique, even newly hatched ones have a stronger physique than 3-year-old children. Besides, Meow Fire Cat is an excellent mainstream pet that has been cultivated by the Pet Alliance for thousands of years. It cannot be so fragile. Have you ever heard of Meow Fire Cat dying of illness? Chenlai shook his head, he had never heard of the news of Meow Fire Cat dying from illness. Meow Fire Cat is a pet beast carefully cultivated by the Pet Alliance. When the Pet Alliance first discovered pets like Meow Cat, the maximum potential value of the Meow Cat clan was only 60. After being selected and nurtured by the Alliance, the best cats among them were used for breeding. After several rounds of selection and cultivation, each generation became stronger, and the upper limit of the potential value of a cat species increased sharply, reaching 90. Through the efforts of several generations, humans have elevated the overall potential value of a race. Humanity has accomplished a miracle. The Pet Alliance has completely domesticated the Meow Fire Cat tribe, and the two are interdependent. Meow Fire Cat is also listed as a member of the Cat, Dog, and Mouse series. Is it okay to feed Meow Fire Cat a cup of flame milk now? Chenlai said with some anticipation. Gugu calmly combed the fiery red hair of the Meow Fire Cat. Yes. Chenlai received Guji's approval and quickly called to send flame milk to cultivate the garden. Chenlai called at lightning speed and hung up before the other person could speak. After hanging up the phone, Guji's expression was subtle. Chenlai rapped his head and said, "Is that wrong?" Gugu sneered and said, "Hee, when the flame milk arrives here, Meow Fire Cat will be completely cold." Flame milk, a fiery red milk, contains a large amount of flame energy and calcium. It is the best growth food for young fire pets, affordable and nutritious. However, there is no sale of flame milk on the market. If you want to drink flame milk, you can either go to the fire cultivation park to squeeze it on site or buy it yourself with flame Moo Moo. Because the energy of flame milk is easily evaporated and extremely difficult to preserve, its energy is like a flame that burns out. Ah, why? Chenlai exclaimed in surprise. Flame milk is freshly squeezed and turned into regular milk after half an hour. This is also common sense. Big brother, didn't your divine fire monkey drink flame milk when he was a child? Gugu flipped over the cat's face and continued to comb its hair. Meow Fire Cat gradually became angry. Chenlai was anxious, and finally saw hope, but hope was broken again. Chenlai said anxiously, "The divine fire monkey is raised in this nursery. I didn't pay much attention to what it ate when it was a child. Besides, isn't that the responsibility of the cultivator? Doctor, is there any other way?" Guji's mouth twitched, what a good trainer. It's really lucky that the divine fire monkey can grow so big. What other methods do you need? Have you forgotten the purpose of your trip? Chenlai's eyes lit up and he murmured, "The purpose is to find a fire cultivation garden." Yes, this is the fire cultivation garden. Chenlai's eyes darkened again. This is indeed a fire-type cultivation garden, but it is already in a state of disrepair. He hasn't even seen a pet beast, let alone the blazing flames. Looking at Chenlai's expression, Gugu couldn't help but know his thoughts. Gugu pointed to the cowshed outside without a gate and said, "My house has flames mooing, but I was scared away by the strong wind last night. They should be nearby and won't run too far. Can you help me find them back?" After listening, Chenlai hurriedly ran out. Gugu called him in time, "Leave the divine fire monkey behind. Meow fire cat is sick, Suyushi is unconscious, at least they are their only guardians. Don't worry, throw them to a stranger you just met. Don't worry, I'm not at ease yet. If anything happens, I won't be fully responsible." Of course, the most crucial thing is that Gugu wants the divine fire monkey to come out and help him bake clothes. The clothes in the wardrobe were all soaked by the rainwater that drifted in. Gugu didn't change his clothes anymore, so he just wore this outfit to make do. End of this chapter. Chapter 5. Flame Milk Powder. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5 Flame Milk Powder. The doctor was thoughtful. Chenlai left behind the divine fire monkey and summoned another pet beast, the burning eagle, from the pet beast space. The burning eagle spread its 3-meter-long wings and took off with Chenlai, searching for flames. Gugu was envious of Chenlai on the side. How rich! Both pet beasts are very rare and precious. The divine fire monkey and burning eagle are very famous among fire pets. Belongs to the mainstream of fire systems. Gugu took advantage of the absence of anyone and observed the divine fire monkey with keen eyes. He really wants a divine fire monkey too. Because in his past life, there was a divine fire monkey in the game. At that time, he relied on the divine fire monkey's punch to instantly win the Daoguan Masters League. The divine fire monkey belongs to the 3 high pet beasts, with high explosive power, high damage, and high power. It is so weak that it can die with just one punch. Renowned as a punching superhero among the divine pets. The divine fire monkey felt uneasy and intimidated by Gugu's enthusiastic gaze, grinning his teeth. Gugu didn't pay attention to the threat from the divine fire monkey, as he wouldn't harm him. The divine fire monkey is a pet beast that stays by people's side for a long time. With human nature, it will not harm people casually. Divine fire monkey, use your hot palms on me, lower the temperature a bit, and help me dry my clothes, Gugu tried to command. The divine fire monkey did not respond, as expected by Gugu. A pet beast is a relatively proud creature that does not listen to commands from anyone except its owner. Gugu said in a somewhat disappointed tone, "No, I don't even know how to use the hot palm. I still say that the hot palm knows how to use it, but I can't precisely control the temperature." If that's the case, the divine fire monkey would be too bad. It seems that I can't contract the divine fire monkey in the future. The divine fire monkey was angry, and the beginner-level skill of hot palms said that I didn't know it, and even said that I couldn't accurately control the temperature. I knew how to make hot palms 10 years ago. Accurately controlling temperature, named divine fire, monkeys me, controlling divine fire is effortless. Controlling temperature is just a matter of having hands. I look down on monkeys. The divine fire monkey's palms were blazing hot, as red as iron blocks. The temperature inside the room instantly increased by more than 10 degrees, and it pressed against Gugu's damp clothes. The clothes were miraculously not scalded, and steam oozed out. From a distance, Gugu turned into a big steamer. Gugu was not scalded, only feeling a bit warm. In a few seconds, Gugu's clothes were completely dry without any water stains. Gugu sighed that having this skill is simply not too convenient, no wonder wealthy people never dry their clothes. Gugu gave a thumbs up and praised, "Brother Monkey, you're amazing. In the future, if I want to contract a fire-type pet beast, I must contract with the Divine Fire Monkey clan. It's not for anything else, just because the Divine Fire Monkey is the most handsome and strongest." The Divine Fire Monkey hugged its chest with both hands and nodded proudly. "It seems like you're saying that you're good and insightful. If I have outstanding successors, I will definitely introduce them to you. Gugu thought to himself that indeed the pet beast had a similar personality to its owner. The big brother seemed quite easy to deceive, and his pet beast, the divine fire monkey, was even better at deceiving. Gugu stopped and Meow Fire Cat had almost finished combing its hair. If it were to be combed again, the effect would be very poor. Gugu started to treat Meow Fire Cat, but didn't wait for Chen Lai to come back with a blazing flame. Because it's no use waiting for Chen Lai to come back with Flame Moo. Flame Moo was frightened last night and it's impossible to produce flame milk this morning. We need to wait a few days for Flame Moo to calm down. The purpose of asking Chen Lai to find Flame Moo Moo is to help him retrieve Flame Moo Moo. Last night, there was a strong wind and heavy rain. The flames were running separately, covering all directions. If Gugu had to search alone, he would have to spend a whole day struggling. There is a free helper coming to your door to help you find it, why not? As for the things that save Meow Fire Cat, Gugu has them at home. When Gugu walked into his parents' bedroom, the air also entered. Even more chaotic than Guji's bedroom, many things have been damaged, and now there are fewer items left by my parents. Gugu became angry, and even if he harmed his own bedroom, he would also harm his deceased parents' belongings, which was too deceitful. I secretly swear that the person from last night should not be caught by myself, otherwise there will be no place for him to die. Gugu pushed open the wardrobe and saw an underground hole and a ladder leading to it. Gugu followed the ladder and suddenly accidentally stepped on it, causing him to fall to the ground. The place where he fell was not very high. Gugu patted his buttocks, got up, and turned on the light switch. Oh! How could there be water stains on the switch? Gugu said, somewhat puzzled. The basement was built a long time ago, and the light switch is an old-fashioned one. It is prone to leakage when exposed to water, making it more enjoyable to be electrified. The incandescent light lit up, illuminating the basement. Gugu turned back to look at the ladder, just stepped on the empty space. The piece of wood on the ladder shattered on the ground. Gugu picked up the piece of wood and observed that it seemed to have been crushed by someone stepping on it. Gugu crawled on the ground and observed carefully, only to find messy footprints on the ground. I placed my feet on top and compared them. It's not my own, but my footprints are 2 circles larger than my own. It looks like a size 44 shoe. The owner of this footprint should be a man, while the woman's feet are relatively small and not as big. Gugu originally thought that the purpose of the people last night was to tease him. After all, there was nothing valuable at home. Now it seems that the original guess was wrong. He even entered the basement, and the purpose cannot be so simple. Gugu guessed that he was looking for something, and he didn't want to know. The blazing flames were released, possibly to lure the tiger away from the mountain and lead me out of the room. The house was in a mess blown by the strong wind, perhaps to cover up the traces he searched for. As for the numerous disclosures in the basement, it is estimated that he was unable to plan and repeat them, allowing strong winds to sweep through the basement. Guji's deduction is very reasonable. But there are still a few points that Gugu can't figure out, if that's really the case. Why didn't the person from last night take advantage of Gugu to go to school to search, as that would give them more time? Covering up the truth is more convenient. If you steal a few valuable items from your home, it becomes a burglary. And what is he looking for? Gugu is very familiar with things at home. Apart from the blazing flames and the breeding garden, there is nothing worth tens of thousands of yuan in the house. I had no idea that the other party was putting in so much effort to search, braving the wind of level 8 to herd cattle, and deliberately covering up the search facts. Gugu shook his head and deduced that there was still no substantial evidence. Gugu opened the cabinet and took out his precious jar. Guji's pupils contracted slightly, and his precious jar moved, deviating from its original position by a few centimeters. Gugu is particularly concerned about his precious jar, placing it in a specific position every time. Despite the small distance of movement, Gu can still clearly see that it has been moved. Gu felt a bit heavy in her heart. Did the other party come for the precious jar? Quickly bring the electronic scale next to you to weigh it. Excluding the weight of the jar itself, there is no difference of 2 kilograms. The weight has not changed, the opponent's target is not it. Gu patted her chest and breathed a deep sigh of relief. Fortunately, the other person was an ignorant owner. In Gu's eyes, the contents of this precious jar are worth at least 1 billion yuan. It is an important support for him to become a professional trainer. Open the jar and it is filled with small white powder particles. Gu reached out his finger and touched a little bit in his mouth. The fragrance burned in his mouth like a flame, with a milky aroma. Gu's proud work after 3 years of research and development. Flame milk powder. It's not ordinary milk powder, it's flame milk powder, and the effect is a quarter of flame milk. The effect is not as good as flame milk, but it does not affect its value. Flaming milk cannot be stored, and pets who want to drink flaming milk must go to a breeding farm with flaming milk, which is very inconvenient. The value of flame milk powder lies in its convenience, speed, and portability. At critical moments, it can also replace flame milk. Of course, these alone cannot compete with flame milk. Gu never wanted to compete with the positive market, as it was too laborious and difficult to please. Gu is preparing to define flame milk powder as a newborn pet animal. Flame milk contains a large amount of flame energy. When newly hatched fire pets drink flame milk, it can cause their bodies to accumulate too much flame energy, causing the flames to lose control and burn their homes. And with flame milk powder, this problem can be solved. Flame milk powder can supplement the same nutrients as milk, adding a small amount of flame energy suitable for newborn fire pets. Transform shortcomings into strengths and turn decay into magic. Usually, the newborn period of pet animals is only 7 days, and they will enter their infancy. Flame milk powder can only be used for 7 days. In Gu's opinion, this is not a deduction item, but a bonus item, to further enhance the value of flame milk powder. The newborn period is short, so less milk powder is needed. This way, flame milk powder will not cause too much impact on the flame milk market, but instead can help flame milk powder integrate into the market more quickly. Expanded the market for pet food by adding an additional item to the counter at the breeding farm. Gu believes that once flame milk powder is released, the Pet Alliance will promote it crazily, because flame milk powder only brings benefits without drawbacks. End of this chapter. Chapter 6. Huoquan Daoguan. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6. Huoquan Daoguan. Gu cautiously carried the milk powder can and walked up the wooden ladder. Climb up lightly. Before climbing the stairs, Gu had an extra eye and specifically checked the stairs first. Since one section of the staircase has been stepped on, will other parts of the staircase also be stepped on? Upon inspection, there was indeed a problem, with varying degrees of cracks appearing on each wooden board of the stairs. Seems to have been weighed down by something heavy. The person who came to my house last night should be very heavy, perhaps a fat person. Gu guessed. After coming out, Gu mixed milk powder. Looking at the broken water dispenser on the ground, Gu silently turned to the kitchen to boil water. The kitchen pots and pans scattered all over the ground. The gas stove in the kitchen is good, and Gu is a bit lucky. If the pots and pans are broken, just break them. As long as the gas stove is good, the tools for drinking water are gone, and the tools for eating are still working. Fill the steel pot with tap water and place it on the gas stove. Turning the switch, the gas stove made a ticking sound of ignition, but the fire did not come up. Gu wrapped his head around and opened the cabinet below to check, but there was a problem. As soon as the cabinet was opened, I saw a big hole in the gas cylinder. The hole is already big, and Gu's head can drill in and out without any problem. Fortunately, all the gas in the gas tank was gone, Otherwise Goo would have had to experience the art of explosion. What is the other party looking for? They don't even let go of the gas tank. Goo's heart was tired, and there were very few things he could use at home. He can tell himself what he is looking for. You can help him find it yourself, there's no need to tinker with yourself like this. It's making it impossible to mix milk powder now. Goo thought for a moment, but he had no choice but to seek help from the divine fire monkey. Goo couldn't help but put the steel pot into the hand of the divine fire monkey and said, "Monkey brother, it's your turn to save the Meow fire cat. If you want to mix milk powder, remember to boil the water." Goo quickly left and went to flip through his backpack to find a pen and paper. Fortunately, the pen can still be used after being soaked in water, so the paper is not so lucky, it's mostly soaked. Goo simply wrote on the wall, placing the Meow cat on an electronic scale to weigh it. After multiplying the weight by the energy of the milk powder flame, he calculated that Meow cat drank 100 milliliters of water and 1.25 grams of milk powder. The divine fire monkey on the side looked bewildered. Would it be so troublesome to drink milk powder? Goo explained to the divine fire monkey, "Normally, there's no need to be so troublesome. Just pour as much as you drink. Meow fire cat's body is too weak, and a little more milk powder may turn into poison, so it's not allowed to make any mistakes. Has the water boiled yet?" The divine fire monkey handed the steel pot to Goo to look at. The steel pot was steaming hot and the water was fragrant. Goo generously praised, "It's great. Monkey brother can still be trusted when it's crucial." Goo made up his mind to contract a fire-type pet beast, making it not too convenient to cook and then train it to become a top chef. Don't be too beautiful in your future happy life. Mix the milk powder according to the calculated ratio, gently blow a few breaths, and let it cool. Put it on Meow fire cat, gently shake Meow fire cat. Meow fire cat is too weak and unresponsive. Goo directly moved the Meow fire cat's mouth and fed it. Just as he was fed, a deafening sound echoed through the whole room. "What is it that you fed Meow fire cat?" Chenlai held a blazing flame in his left and right hands, and stared at Goo with angry eyes, ready to take action if he didn't agree. Goo immediately raised his hands, knowing that Chenlai had misunderstood him. "But we can't blame them either." Who asked Goo to take Chenlieji out to catch a cow? After catching the cow, he saw Goo forcefully feeding unknown white liquid to Meow fire cat. Flame milk powder, developed by myself, is used to treat Meow fire cat. Don't worry, I am a pet doctor with the professional ethics of a doctor in the pet world. It is impossible to harm Meow fire cat, and even if I want to harm Meow fire cat, you just turned around and left, I won't save you. Quickly put down my flame Moo Moo, you scared them. Upon hearing this, Chenlai let go of his hand, and the flames fell to the ground with a strong and sturdy sound. Goo quickly stepped forward, arched from left to right, and combed through the bright and colorful fur like flames, easing their panic. Flame Moo, fire-type cattle pet beast, shorter in size than ordinary yellow cattle. Belonging to the breed of cows, it is an auxiliary pet beast with little combat power and relatively timid. Flame Moo was frightened, either lying on the ground like an ostrich, with its head stuck in the ground, or frantically using its skills to charge fearlessly, running and running until it reached a safe place. Goo looked behind and didn't see any other flames mooing. What about 8 more? Chenlai was a bit anxious, so he grabbed 2 blazing flames and came back, stuttering, I'm not worried about Meow fire cat. I found 2 and they'll be used for now. Goo thought to himself that having a flying pet beast was fast, and in just a few minutes, he caught back 2 blazing flames. Can you be gentle when you catch it back? Flame Moo Moo is a very gentle and timid fire-type pet beast, known as the shame of fire-type pet beast. If you scare Flame Moo Moo, it will not produce flame milk for several days. Goo used an expression of, success is not enough, failure is more than enough, and said, fortunately, I was prepared early and took out my treasure. Otherwise, waiting for you, Meow Fire Cat would have finished its calf long ago. Chen Lai lowered his head in shame, and Gu Gu didn't continue to say anything, otherwise he would offend someone. With Gu Ji's caress, the flames on both ends moved and calmed down, and soon fell asleep. Gu Gu gently patted their heads and said, "I've been tinkering all night and haven't had much rest. Go to sleep and rest for a while." Gu Gu stood up and applied the last healing to Meow Fire Cat. This is the best time, as flame milk enters the Meow Cat's stomach and begins to be absorbed. Combined with healing, it can temporarily restore Meow Cat's hematopoietic function. The hematopoietic cycle in the cat's body begins and can persist for a long time. The last one was used for healing, and Gu Gu did everything he could. It's pointless for them to stay here. Gu Gu whispered, "The Meow Fire Cat milk powder contains a large amount of calcium supplementation, and with my healing, the Meow Fire Cat's bones have regained their hematopoietic function. However, it does not mean that the Meow Fire Cat is completely fine. It is only temporarily out of danger. It still needs a pet doctor's healing skills for treatment after an hour. I recently became a novice pet doctor, and the 3 rounds of healing are already the limit. Meow Fire Cat can't stay with me anymore. It's time to go to a pet hospital and stay in the treatment equipment." Chen Lai heard the doctor drive him away, thinking he was throwing flames and mooing, which angered the doctor. The doctor became angry and wanted to drive him away. Chen Lai immediately apologized sincerely, "Doctor, I'm sorry, it was my anxiety. I'll go out immediately and retrieve the remaining flames." Gu Gu couldn't help but laugh and cry when he saw Chen Liecheng's sincere apology expression. "I'm telling the truth, Meow Fire Cat needs to stay in the treatment equipment. I didn't deceive you, so you took the can of milk powder with you. I wrote down the amount of milk powder each time on the wall, and you took a picture with your phone. You should remember that once the 7-day newborn period of the pet beast is over, you have to stop using flame milk powder and replace it with flame milk to drink. I won't calculate how much milk to drink. I believe you have professional trainers." Chen Lai wanted to say something more, but was interrupted by Gu Gu waving his hand. "Don't be so motherly, big brother. Time is running out. Hurry up and call for a more stable transportation. Meow Fire Cat and Su Yushi can't withstand the turbulence. The next thing is simple." Chen Lai made a phone call and, fortunately, a professional medical helicopter flew to the cultivation park. The hospital helicopter stopped, and a group of medical teams consisting entirely of women carried Su Yushi away, while Meow Fire Cat carried her away. Before Chen Lai left, Gu Gu reminded, "There is one thing you need to pay attention to. Previously, you were asked to look for a doctor from a fire-type pet breeding farm. Regardless of the purpose, you must not have a good heart. There are countless supplements for supplementing fire and calcium, so there is no need to go specifically to a fire-type pet breeding farm. It is best to ask your team behind you to analyze and analyze. It is best to hire several pet doctors who are not in the right direction to treat Meow Fire Cat. They should be on duty 24 hours a day. The last word of advice is, big brother, you should really study some common sense." Chen Lai carefully took note of Gu Ji's words and jumped onto the plane tightly holding the milk powder can. "Doctor, thank you this time. I owe you a favor. If you encounter something that cannot be solved in the future, you can come to me Chen Lai at the Huoquan Taoist Temple in Volcano City." The medical helicopter emitted surprised gazes, and Chen Lai made such promises for a young man. Upon hearing these words, Gu Gu felt a little relieved that everything she had done had indeed paid off. Huoquan Daoguan Chen Lai, Huoquan Daoguan, Huoquan. Gu Gu suddenly felt a little excited and leaned against her thigh. One of the top martial arts schools in the fire genre, with the profound meaning of the fire fist, it has achieved the reputation of the Divine Fire Monkey. The Divine Fire Monkey from Gu Ji's previous life game was obtained at the Fire Fist Taoist Hall. With Chen Lai's favor, Gu Gu is likely to obtain a roasted fire monkey from the Fire Fist Taoist Hall. Roast fire monkey, the undeveloped and primitive type of divine fire monkey. End of this chapter. Chapter 7. Alien Slime. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7 Alien Slime. If you want a roasted monkey, be your first pet, Gu Gu murmured to herself. Gu Gu pondered for a long time and gave up this tempting idea. The opening fire monkey is a good start. But he can't afford to raise it, not to mention the roasted monkey, he can't even afford to raise himself anymore. Fire-type pets consume a lot of resources, and the top among fire-type pets, the divine fire monkey, is even more resource-hungry. Without 10 million in a year, the combat power is not formed. Moreover, the divine fire monkey is a favored beast in the later stage, with weak combat power in the early stage. As the name suggests, it was called the roast fire monkey in the early stage and the divine fire monkey in the later stage. The name says everything. Gu Gu doesn't have much funds, his parents are not around, he doesn't have the support of his elders, and he can't compare to ordinary civilian trainers. The first pet beast that Gu Gu considered has a limited range of attribute choices and should not consume too much resources. There are 3 types that do not consume resources: grass, insect, and water. This is also a popular choice for civilian trainers. Grass systems consume less resources and can grow by burying them in the soil. Grass systems have great potential, and the combat power of wood grass pets can grow with age. Grass-type pet beasts have a long lifespan and can mostly send their owners away. Grass-type pet beasts can release healing abilities, and with the help of Gu Ji's novice pet doctor, they can open a small pet hospital. Low resource consumption, earning money, and cultivating strong skills are the most favored attributes of Gu Gu. Insect-based pets consume less resources and have a short growth cycle, allowing for rapid formation of combat power. The favorite of novice trainers for ordinary people. Train a good insect-type pet to compete in league rookie-level competitions, compete for championships, and receive substantial bonuses. Then, like a snowball rolling, he kept participating in the game and won the prize money. This approach is good and the profit is very high. But Gu Gu doesn't like it, the risk is too high. Insect weak fire, weak ice, weak lightning, and so on. The insect body is too fragile, with too many weaknesses and too much restraint. A fire-type pet beast is 3 levels lower than an insect-type pet beast and can easily defeat it. Encountering fire in the competition is like Tinka. No matter how tough your tactics are, even with good command, it will be of no use. The water system consumes more resources than the first 2 attributes, and compared to the other attributes, the water system consumes less. The attribute that Gu Gu least considers is the water system. Qingqiao City is located in the Qingqiao Plain, which is a vast grassland with a beautiful ecological environment, nurturing many pet animals of grass and insect species. It is a natural paradise for grass and insect species, with an extremely rich variety of grass and insect species. Why bother Gu Gu seeking distance and seeking water systems? Ding ding, the phone rings. Gu Gu took out an old-fashioned phone from his pocket, and it still rang, surprisingly not broken. Gu Gu sighed, the quality of phones in the pet world is really good. You should know that the phone was left in my pocket last night, flying with my clothes and soaking in the rain. On the phone screen is a string of unfamiliar phone numbers without any notes. Hey who? Gu Gu, it's me, Zhang Wenhe. Class monitor. Why are you calling me? Gu Gu is very salty and transparent in class. He has little contact with class monitor Zhang Wenhe. Gu Gu, have you signed a contract with the pet beast? The school needs to report it to the statistics department. If all the students in the class have signed a contract and reported it to the school, the whole class will miss you in reporting it. Class monitor, I haven't figured out what kind of pet beast to contract yet. Then hurry up, the school is in a hurry. The report ends tomorrow, and the school rules are very strict. After hanging up the phone, Gugu looked melancholic. Since the beginning of school, the school has been urging the contract pet, and Gugu has been dragging on for a month without a contract. The school is going to hold the Beast Cup, and all students must participate. Those who do not participate will be treated as dropping out. After all, Gugu did not attend a regular high school, but a training school. It seems like I went to the black market to buy a pet egg and hatch it. Pet eggs in the regular market cost at least tens of thousands, and even better ones cost tens of thousands or even millions. The black market is cheaper. Wait, I seem to have forgotten something. The house is in a mess, the furniture is damaged, and I can't sell it. Well, it seems like I can't afford pet eggs on the black market either. I have no choice but to contact Chen Lai and look at the phone. Oh no, I forgot to ask Chen Lai for his contact information. Gugu suddenly remembered and said with regret. Sitting on the ground with a gloomy expression. Gugu finally remembered that not only did he forget to ask for his contact information, but he also forgot to claim his compensation. Stupid. I've helped so much myself, the other person won't forget, will they? Is there still time to catch up now? After running past the helicopter, Gugu thought about it and decided not to. He still has 8 blazing flames, waiting to be found. Gugu found a tool to simply repair the gate of the cow depot and close it. He drove the 2 flames in and rode his bicycle to find the flames. The twilight is dim, the sun is as red as blood, and dusk falls. Gugu sat panting on the ground, running for a whole day without eating anything. He searched desperately and finally found the 3 heads. Gugu's legs and feet were weak, and he stood up with strong support. He couldn't do it and had to go find it. If you can't find it today, the likelihood of finding it tomorrow is even lower. Without taking 2 steps, my eyes turned black and I walked straight to the ground. Last night, I was hung on a tree and had a strong wind blowing all night, almost not getting dry. In the morning, I used up a lot of mental energy to save the cat, and rode my bike all day looking for flames to moo. I didn't eat, and my stomach was empty. Can you avoid fainting? As night falls, after the strong wind and heavy rain last night, the starry sky is particularly bright tonight. The cicadas chirped at night, and Gugu opened her eyes. He woke up, he was so tired, and he could still sleep. He doesn't want to go find it anymore, he just wants to have a good rest. Flip your body, spread your hands and feet, and lie on the ground in a big character. Looking straight at the brilliant starry sky, he said to the stars, crossing the game world, I shouldn't have taken the path of leveling up by fighting monsters. Why did I become so embarrassed that I couldn't even find a few blazing flames? Gugu was originally a top hacker in a technologically advanced world. But he is extremely fond of playing games and has a strong craving for food. He is eyeing the world's game masterpiece, virtual online game. Pet World. Gugu, who had no money to spend money on, had a crooked idea. Download Pet World and change it to your own private server. I specially created a cheat for myself in the game. As a result, there was a conflict between the cheating and Pet World data, and the game warehouse continuously generated new data until it was filled and exploded. With the explosion, Gugu traveled to the gaming world. Becoming a 1-year-old baby and living in the Pet World for 16 years. The tall dog's head covered Gugu's view, and a jelly-like object fell from the dog's mouth and hit Gugu's face. Gugu sat up somewhat bewildered and saw his dog, the watchdog, coming back with 5 blazing flames behind him. Gugu immediately realized that his watchdog had brought the remaining flames back home. Gugu was pleasantly surprised and said, Watchdog, you have found the other flames to moo. How did you do it? The watchdog flicked its nose and barked a few times. Gugu is particularly familiar with the watchdog and understands its words. I have a nose. I found a few blazing flames to moo, it's a piece of cake. Goo Goo happily hugged the watchdog and praised, "Thank goodness you're here. Otherwise, the blazing flames would definitely have fewer heads. Tonight, I'll add chicken legs for you." The watchdog is a local pet, similar in appearance to the Chinese pastoral dog, with a slightly taller body size than the Chinese pastoral dog. It is Goo Ji's father's pet and is even older than Goo Goo. Goo Goo knew that the watchdog would retrieve the 5 blazing flames and moo, and the process was definitely not easy. The dog's nose could certainly smell the scent of the blazing flames and moo. But don't forget, it rained last night, and the smell of the rain that could flush the flames and leave it in the air. The difficulty of the watchdog search has greatly increased. Goo Goo endured his hunger and got up from the ground. He collapsed into the refrigerator and took out the remaining chicken legs. The gas stove was broken and he couldn't afford it. It's okay. Dismantle the sofa and make a fire. Rummaging through the ruins of the kitchen, searching for clean condiments, sprinkled them on the golden roasted chicken legs, and the fragrance immediately rose. One person and one dog divided the chicken legs to eat. Goo Goo and the watchdog have a good relationship, but Goo Goo cannot contract the watchdog. Some pet beasts only contract with one person throughout their lives, loyal to one person, and the watchdog is one of them. The beautiful and well-fed watchdog remembered the matter and tugged at Goo Ji's pants, gesturing for him to follow. Goo Goo ran quickly to catch up and saw the watchdog stomping on a running little thing. Goo Goo approached and saw that he had just smashed jelly on his face. No, it wasn't jelly, it was slime. Goo Goo opened his mouth wide in surprise, a strange colored slime, a white slime. End of this chapter. Chapter 8. Slim Never Surrender. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8. Slim Never Surrender. Slime is a green jelly-like creature, the weakest pet in the world of pets. The slime under the watchdog's paw is white and translucent. Goo Goo has never seen such a slime in the game, and the ice slime with the closest color to it. Cold Ice Slim is blue-white with small snowflakes inside, emitting a chill. This slime doesn't have any cold air or small snowflakes. Goo Goo must have never seen it in the game, so it's the alien slime. The mutated new variety of slime, Goo Ji's eyes lit up, and this slime was at least worth several million. Slimes are not worth money, but mutated slimes are worth money. Selling to scholars specializing in researching mutated pet beasts, Goo Goo wants to make a big profit. Goo Goo grabbed Slim and picked up something cold, like a chilled jelly. Pinched into a flat circular shape, shaped into a cylindrical shape, pulling his cheeks, Slim looked at Goo Goo in tears. Startled, Goo Goo suddenly let go and Slim fell to the ground, smacking. Slim took the opportunity to slip away, wriggling slowly before being mercilessly suppressed by the watchdog's paw. This slime's high intelligence scared Goo Goo. Slime is the weakest pet, and it is possible that even the weakest pet cannot be considered. It is a pet that can be born without a pet egg. The academic community argues endlessly every year about whether slime is a pet or not. One side believes that slime has not hatched from a pet egg and cannot be considered a pet, while the other believes that slime can contract and is considered a pet. Slim's intelligence is extremely low, it can be said that there is none. Only biological instinct, the instinct to escape. In order for Slim to awaken higher wisdom, he must contract with humans and rely on the power of human contracts to awaken spirits. Slim's crying expression is too human. Goo Goo was a bit skeptical that Slime had already been contracted to have such high intelligence. Immediately open the system to check. Name. Unnamed. Gender. Asexual. Race. Slim. Contract. None. Talent. Splitting, merging. Property. None. Status. Healthy. Level. None. Skill. None. Genetic skills. None. Potential value. 10. Goo widened his eyes. This is really a strange slime. Without being contracted, this slime demonstrates great wisdom. If this slime does not die, it must become the existence of the king of slime. Slim's uniqueness lies not only in his intelligence, but also in his talent. He has 2 talents, a dual-talent pet beast, which is even rarer than a mutant pet beast. The slime clan has only 2 talents in total, and the heterochromatic slime is taken over. Slim's talents are divided into division and fusion. Slime is asexual reproduction, which involves dividing a part of the body to form another slime. The split talent of slime is an important talent for the reproduction of the slime family. The slime with fusion talents is the leader of the slime tribe. It can gather slime groups and then merge to become a large slime, greatly enhancing its combat effectiveness. From being a scumbag in battle, he instantly transformed into a new-level pet demon king. High health, high resistance, a sticky bomb that makes you unable to move. This slime possesses 2 talents at the same time, division and fusion. Goo cannot imagine the achievements of this slime in the future. One person is one tribe. Large slime, super large slime, giant slime, super giant slime. Of course, Goo-Gee's conjecture may also be incorrect. There is no difference between slime with 2 talents and slime with 1 talent. Even ordinary slimes can split and merge, but they are not very strong. The watchdog barked a few times and kicked Slim to Goo. Goo held it in both hands. It's a rare item, don't kick it out. The watchdog looked contemptuously at Goo, pointed to Slim, pointed to Goo, and then patted his chest. Goo remained silent. He understood the meaning of the watchdog. It knows that Goo has been worrying about the issue of contract pets recently. It deliberately caught a unique slime and wanted Goo to make a contract. Finally, I patted my chest and said, "You're welcome, I brought it specifically for you." Goo was moved by the kindness of the watchdog. He fell silent, speechless, and silently put down the slime in his hand. He came to the watchdog and gently touched its head. If someone throws him a slime to make a contract, even if that slime is of a different color, Goo would also think that that person is humiliating me. Slime is slime, even if it's a different color, it's still weak. Slime has always been synonymous with weakness. Your pet is as strong as slime, your pet is even stronger than slime, these are all mockery. But the watchdog doesn't understand the difference between slime and other pets. Its concept was instilled by Goo-Gee's father, who believed that being different is the best. Goo-Gee's father is a passionate fan of exotic pets, and his greatest wish in his life is to have an exotic pet beast. The watchdog, influenced by Goo-Gee's father, believes that being different is the best, and the best should be left to Goo. Goo knew that Slim was weak, but he was not prepared to refuse the kindness of the watchdog. This is not a momentary impulse of emotions, not a momentary stubbornness. Goo was relieved and let go of his obsession at this moment. He has always been a person with a strong competitive spirit. In his past life, he was a hacker with a strong competitive spirit. If he wanted to be a hacker, he would become the strongest. After becoming a top hacker, he would challenge the state grid and be beaten to pieces. He was also approached by the police and detained for 15 days. From then on, dejected Goo became obsessed with games, and Pet World was originally a casual and open place. Due to Goo-Gee's competitive nature, the game is plagued by trouble and the 3 major evil powers of Pet World players. The 3 major forces of the wealthy, the Liver Emperor, and the European Emperor have re-taught Goo to be a good person. In a fit of anger, Goo changed his mind to become a private server for Pet World, changed cheats, and was bombed. After dying once, Goo-Gee's competitiveness decreased a lot, but he still had it. After all, as in the novel, he traveled through the game world. Goo-Gee's remaining competitiveness is at fault, and he wants to be the protagonist, but lacks confidence. The successive blows in the front have been heavy on Goo, and the online reality has been completely abused. Coupled with the special mechanism of this pet world game, it has led to Gu Ji's lack of confidence. On the one hand, I want to be the protagonist, but on the other hand, I lack confidence. It made Gu look a bit indecent and somewhat fishy. When it comes to the game mechanism of Pet World, it is unique in that it is clearly a game with skills, passivity, levels, and character experience points. Only without the experience points of pet beasts. If pet beasts want to upgrade quickly, they must spend money to buy resources. The game system can only help oneself better understand other people's pets, and it is of little use. It is not an exaggeration to say that the game system is an appraisal technique. Gu in this world is another great destitute, guarding a closed cultivation garden. Gu wanted to become the protagonist, carefully selecting the first pet and even flipping through a pet book to the point of becoming obsessed. From his desire to sell furniture and buy a pet egg on the black market, it can be seen how much Gu values the first pet beast and how obsessed he is. But at this moment, a dog's concern made Gu realize that what is more important than the game is his family, and what is more important than becoming the protagonist is having someone, or a dog, who values him in his heart. The protagonist is not a big deal, he is also human. What is the first pet beast is not important, what is important is the meaning behind it. The kindness of the watchdog towards him cannot be let down by Gu. You can also let down the kindness of a dog towards you. Are you still alone? Thank you, watchdog, thank you for taking care of me all the time, Gu said softly to the watchdog with slightly moist eyes. The watchdog tilted its head, unsure why it didn't make a contract. Who caused Xiao Gu to cry? I'll go bite him. Slim, who was running away, stopped wriggling and turned his head strangely, staring at each person and dog. Why don't the two villains catch themselves? I'm going to run, I'm really running. Slim wondered why the two villains haven't caught him yet. Slim is on the alert. They might not want to let me go again like they did just now, and then catch me back when I'm full. No, we can't let their conspiracy come to fruition. I'll just stay put and not run away. Slim's silly and cute little eyes stared at him, and Gu was a bit strange. Why didn't it run away? Gu tried to gently push it away. Slim was confused. Perhaps this person was not a great villain, but a great good person who wanted to let him go. Slim tried to move forward a bit and then turned back to look at Gu, but Gu didn't move. Slim said happily, the good guy really wants to let himself go. Change the previous crawling movement and use your body's elasticity to bounce and quickly escape from the cultivation garden. Slim was about to jump out of the nursery gate when he suddenly realized something was wrong. I hadn't fallen to the ground yet. Slim turned his head and Gu hugged it with both hands, putting it back again. Slim was dumbfounded. I almost jumped away with joy. Why did you bring me back? Gu tried pushing Slim again. Slim understood that this person didn't want to let him go at all. He was teasing himself. He is not a good person, he is a wicked person full of evil taste. I cannot let his conspiracy succeed. Gu pushed it away a bit, and Slim walked back again. Gu became addicted to playing, going back and forth more than 10 times, but Slim couldn't leave. Evil man, you will not succeed, slime will never surrender. End of this chapter. Chapter 9. Immortal Body. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9. Immortal Body. Slim was persistent and unwilling to run back, with a silly and cute expression of not running even if he died, which made Gu laugh. Gu thought to himself that Pet World has always been a leisure and entertainment game, and I played it wrong. Narrow the path, otherwise it won't provoke the 3 major evil powers of players. Gu picked up Slim and released him outside the door to observe his reaction. Slim. Evil people are too bad to tempt me. I don't accept temptation. Bouncing back and forth. Gu couldn't help but laugh and cry at the watchdog and said, where did you find this top-notch idiot? The watchdog barks a few times at the cowshed, barks a few times at the grassland, and barks a few times at the sky. Goo Goo, who was at the 10th level of dog language, understood and said, Slim was picked up on the way on the grassland. Looking for flames and mooing just saw its birth. The slime tribe, in addition to division and reproduction, also has a birth. After a heavy rain, slime will be born by the river with abundant moisture. This is also the reason why the weakest pet, slime, has never been exterminated. Goo Goo didn't play with slime anymore, he held it in his arms and rubbed it. Slim is cute and has a super good hand feel, making it very relaxing to grip. There is one thing about the different colored slime that Goo Goo doesn't understand. The attribute of alien slime is none, and pets without attributes are generally called regular ones. And the system panel shows none, which Goo Goo has not seen before. How about calling you blank? Goo Goo whispered to Slim. The attribute panel is blank except for race, status, talent, and potential. Congratulations player, we have discovered a new pet beast. Unlock a new picture book. The new pet is named Blank, and the Blank Slime Clan is born. Unlock the birth of the Achievement Clan. Reward 1 replication point. Goo Goo was surprised and unlocked the achievement, which is a good thing. Unlocking an achievement can reward a respawn point. 1 replication point can be used for 1 replication recording. Reproduction recording can capture scenes of other pet beasts releasing their skills, copying one of them. Enter the recording video of your own pet beast, experience skill interpretation, and learn skills. Equivalent to a skill learning machine. A very convenient and fast function. Slim felt something and looked up at the sky with his little eyes. He happily murmured, Blank Slim, I have a name now. Goo Goo took advantage of the heat to prepare for a blank contract with Slime. Blank Slime, let me be your trainer. Train you on the path to the strongest slime and become the king of slime. Goo Goo meditated on the ground in his plate, and his spiritual power outlined an ancient contract in his soul. For this day, Goo Goo rehearsed and sketched hundreds of times in his soul. The contract turned into a mysterious pattern, floating in Goo Gee's eyebrows. Under Goo Gee's feet, the light converges and diffuses, forming a circular aperture on the ground. The aperture rotates rapidly, and 3 lines extend within the aperture, connecting each other into a triangle. At this moment, it seems like this place has become the center of the world. The watchdog stared intently at the scene, tears streaming down its eyes. It recalled its contract with its owner, but its owner left forever, leaving it to live alone. The triangle of light also began to rotate faster and faster. The light detached from the ground and transformed into a huge pillar of light, enveloping Goo Goo and Slim from bottom to top. Accept my contract. Goo Goo said seriously to Slim. Slim did not refuse and readily accepted. Slim didn't really want to make a contract with the big villain. If he made a contract with him, he would definitely suffer from bullying in the future. The idea was unwillingness, but his body was honest and he felt great benefits. Creatures instinctively made decisions for him to accept. A contract is a matter between 2 people and must be agreed upon by both parties. If one party disagrees, the initiator of the contract will be severely injured. Goo Goo doesn't care about this, he knows Slim will definitely accept it. Slim is a low-intelligence creature, driven by biological instincts to seek higher intelligence. The contract has the function of enlightenment, and the ability to enlighten wisdom is what slime lacks the most, which is a temptation that all slimes cannot resist. It can be said that slime is the best contract among all pet beasts. But the best contract pet slime is not favored or contracted by anyone. Countless faint and bright light spots flow in the contract formation, converging into a small river that flows into the bodies of Goo Goo and Slim. Slim turned directly into a sphere of light, and Goo Goo became a person of light. The most exciting moment in the contract has arrived, awakening the trainer's talent. Goo Goo was a bit nervous, not sure if he could awaken his trainer talent. Some people have the talent of trainers from birth, some rely on their first contract to awaken, and some cannot awaken the talent of trainers for a lifetime. Gugu hopes that he is not the latter. If he cannot awaken the trainer's talent, his pet beast will be shorter than other pet beasts. Gugu prayed in her heart that even the weakest trainer's talent would suffice. Upon hearing Guji's expectations, the heavens awakened his trainer's natural talent for language proficiency. Gugu felt that his trainer's talent was fluent in speech and a bitter smile on his face. You really gave me the weakest talent. Gugu sets aside distractions and shares the moment of talent. Pet beasts and humans share each other's talents, and Gugu is curious about the effects of splitting and merging talents on himself. Splitting out another Gugu, the two Gugu merge into one Daoguan. Gugu was amused by his own thoughts, and the next second Gugu couldn't laugh out loud. The contract formation is stuck, and the light is stuck in the air. The contract formation seems to have been paused by time. The contract ceremony did not continue, nor did it dissipate. Gugu was completely bewildered. I haven't heard of a contract ceremony stopping yet. Gugu tried to twist his body, but couldn't move. The immense power of the contract formation imprisoned Gugu to death. The watchdog saw something was wrong outside, and the contract formation had stopped. According to reason, the contract had failed, and it was time for people to come out. However, after waiting for a long time, Gugu did not come out. The watchdog was anxiously wandering outside the formation, barking a few times at the contract formation and asking Gugu what had happened. Gugu was imprisoned by the power of the contract, and his mouth was fixed like a powerful fixator, unable to open and respond to the watchdog. Gugu remembered that he still had a system, perhaps the system knew what had happened. Opening the system, a garbled panel appeared in front of me. Shulsjio Sigma Amp, female sign Eta Central. The system crashed. Gugu was desperate, the game system had crashed, and he had no way to save himself. The next moment, Gugu was overjoyed. Talent extraction is activated. Yes/no, draw a talent for your pet beast. Yes/no. Gugu crazily clicks on yes with his spiritual power. This is a cheat talent extraction edited by Gugu himself, and I didn't expect it to also travel with Gugu into the game. After Gugu opened his private server, the virtual online game, Pet World, became a single-player game belonging to Gugu. As time goes by, Gugu will eventually reach the pinnacle of single-player games. But Gugu is not satisfied with such a calm gameplay. He is a routine player, a technical player, and likes to study various dirty routines. Over time, Gugu has played all the relatively obscure tricks in the game. Gugu also wants to play other tricks, but there are only tens of thousands of pets in the pet world, which is not enough to play. Designing pet beasts by oneself, but Gugu is not a professional person after all, and designing them is not as good as Slime's design in Pet World. Gugu came up with another idea, the formation of a routine, mainly consisting of 2 points. Talent and skill combination. Among them, talent is the core of matching routines. So Gugu created a cheat about talents. The cheat talent was extracted, and 3 talents were selected from thousands of pet beast talents. One of the 3 talents was chosen to give the same talent to the pet beast. That is to say, the blank slime will have another talent. Gugu is a bit suffocated. Slim, who has 3 talents, is the only one in the entire pet world. Unfortunately, it's all on Slim, otherwise Gugu would have shouted. Jianghu takes off. The slime with 3 talents is still slime, with low potential value. Unless there is one talent among the 3 that can make Slim change his fate against the heavens. Otherwise, Slime, who has 3 talents, would really waste 3 talents. The panel started flashing, with red, yellow, white, black, and a variety of colors constantly switching, making Guji's eyes dizzy. It took about half a minute for the flashing speed to slow down. The first talent has appeared, the undead talent. The undead body. This talent feels a bit strange when paired with slime. End of this chapter. Chapter 10. Race Groups. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Chapter 10 Race Groups. Immortal Body is a unique talent of undead pets. Will the undead slime with the talent of the undead become the undead slime? Goo Goo is not clear. Because slime Goo Goo from the undead genre has never heard of it. There are slimes from the ghost genre. Perhaps Slim did not become an undead, and his talent and abilities became passive for the Resident Evil Zack in League of Legends. After being killed by someone, four living mucus split apart and gathered together to resurrect. After Slim was killed, a puddle of mucus was left behind, and the mucus converged again, bringing Slim back to life. Goo Goo felt that it was not very useful for Slim to have the immortal body. The true meaning of the immortal body talent is to cooperate with high-sensitivity attacks and play the fast and explosive resurrection stream. Slim has a round and silly appearance, just like a little trash. To have speed without speed, to attack without attack. Giving Slim the gift of immortality is simply a waste. The second talent has emerged, Overgrowth. Surprisingly, this talent is very rare and unique. Goo Goo is particularly familiar with the impression of excessive growth talent, which allows for unlimited growth. At that time, Goo Goo specialized in studying excessive growth in the game. Talents can break down racial boundaries and grow without restrictions. In the game, Goo Goo encountered two pet beasts with such talents. Both pet beasts are very powerful, with combat power comparable to that of divine pets. A tree named Tong Tian Tree, with a body length of 90,000 meters, a 40,000 meter root system left underground, a 10,000 meter trunk left on the ground, and a 40,000 meter crown reaching straight into the clouds. A mountain called Meat Mountain, weighing about 40 billion tons, is constantly increasing in weight, heavier than a large mountain, and has a tall and towering figure like a mountain. If slime has excessive growth, Goo Gee's previous speculation was that large slime, super large slime, giant slime, and super giant slime are not a problem. Overgrowth talent is strong and rare, and slime has it that can definitely break through the limits of slime's potential value. But Goo Goo has a bit of disdain for it and doesn't like this talent. The reason is that neither of the two battle beasts with such talents will have a good ending, as their size is too large and their strength has no place to play. The size of the Tong Tian Tree was too tall, and a passing divine pet felt jealous. With a slash, the Tong Tian Tree was cut off by the waist, unable to even resist. Meat Mountain did not die, but the outcome was even worse than that of Tong Tian Tree, as he was captured by the members of the Pet Alliance and taken to fill the rioting Haiyan. The rebellious CI constantly impacts its body, and the water pressure at a depth of 50,000 underwater presses it heavily, making life more difficult than death for the Flesh Mountain. So, having a large volume is not necessarily a good thing. Goo Goo doesn't want the supergiant slime he has painstakingly cultivated to be targeted by a discerning divine pet, or caught by the Pet Alliance to fill the CI. When the last talent name appears, Goo Goo was foolish and froze for a long time. Surprisingly, it is a group of races. If it weren't for the watchdog barking wildly outside the contract formation and waking up Goo Goo, the god of Leng, Goo Goo could still stay on Leng for a whole day. Goo Goo couldn't believe it, he completely unleashed this talent. I didn't dream myself, did I? Goo Goo really wants to pinch her face hard and remind herself that she hasn't dreamed. Unfortunately, I am imprisoned by the power of the contract formation, if it's not a dream. From then on, the world takes off. Master trainers and king trainers are not dreams. Goo Goo dares to say that he has this talent and can cultivate slime into the god of slime. The group of gifted races is one of the few talents in Goo Goo who is unaware of their effectiveness. The official ban on the effects of the race group in the Pet World game is very strict, and those who understand its effects cannot count a finger. Goo Goo doesn't know the effect of his talent, but it doesn't prevent him from knowing the amazing talent. In the previous game, the pet beasts with the talent of race group were even more famous than the Tongtian tree and Meat Mountain. This talent has appeared on two pet beasts, one is a wild pet beast and the other is a player's pet beast. That wild pet beast was dubbed the Night God by the players, with the body of a mortal pet, on par with the gods. Countless players have been attacking the Night God one after another, and then all of them have been defeated. The first player who praised as the fourth scourge was abusive. Although he is an ordinary red-eyed crow, he dares to challenge his divine pet. The key is that the divine pet did not defeat the Night God. The player's pet beast is an ordinary green bug, with potential values comparable to Slim, leading a group of young green bug brothers. With that group of green insects, they all turned into empty seats, not inferior to the existence of the green dragon. Of course, that player is not an ordinary person either. He is the son of the CEO of Pet World Game Company. Goo Goo trembled with his spiritual power and clicked on the group of races. The light curtain of the group of races darkened and turned into a stream of light, entering Slim's body. The contract ceremony continues. Goo Goo breathed a slight sigh of relief. Previously, he was a bit worried about his cheats, which would conflict with the contract ceremony. Feeling the ceremony continuing, Goo Goo took the opportunity to relax. Good luck drew into the group of races, but due to a conflict between cheating and the contract ceremony, Goo Goo probably vomited blood in anger. Fortunately, what Goo Goo was worried about did not happen. The stream of light from the group of races entered the blank Slime's body, and Slime immediately felt something extra inside his body. It seems to be a talent that reminds oneself to establish one's own tribe. With ethnic groups, it will become stronger. Blank Slime likes this talent a bit, it matches well with it, it is Slime who aspires to become king. I will definitely develop my own ethnic group and revitalize it. The time has come for sharing talents. The trainer's natural talent and proficiency in language were the first to be shared, as Goo Goo had anticipated earlier. The order of talent sharing is regular, with weaker talents sharing first. Blank Slime is proficient in the language of the trainer's talent, and his two silly and adorable beans have a mouth in front of him. The pet slime has no mouth, and they eat by wrapping their bodies around it. Blank Slime felt the small mouth appearing under his eyes, and his heart was filled with joy. With a happy heart, he thought, I can speak now. The trainer talent of the great villain is really good. In the contract, Goo Goo could feel Slim's thoughts and respond in his heart, it's not good at all. You've never seen a better trainer talent before. Slim was frightened and trembled slightly, saying, it's the voice of a great villain. Slim's small eyeballs rotate 360 degrees to observe Goo Goo. Goo Goo comforted himself and said, don't panic. I'm your trainer, and I won't harm you. You can hear my voice in your heart, and it's the effect of the contract ceremony. Even if we can only talk in language, you gave me a nickname. It's really interesting. Slim mustered up his courage, you really won't hurt me or bully me. Really, Goo Goo responded confidently. Slim believed it and felt happy. I believe it, it's really easy to deceive. Goo Goo sighed silently, this sentence was hidden deep in Goo Gee's heart, not for Slim to hear. Great villain, what better is there? Telepathy allows the other person to feel their thoughts in their heart without speaking. Slim responded with a surprised emotion, yes, that's right. Can telepathy also give birth to my mouth? No, Goo Goo didn't expect Slim to care about his mouth. Then I prefer your talent, Slim expressed with a joyful emotion. Why? You seem to really like your mouth. Goo Goo doesn't understand why Slime was born without a mouth, so he likes his mouth. Well, blank really likes their mouths. They can communicate and speak like big villains. People just don't have mouths, they can't speak, they can't communicate, and that's why their intelligence is low. If they can speak, they will definitely become smarter. After speaking, Slim's emotions surged into Goo Gee's heart, which was a blank emotion. Goo Goo experienced the initial memory of the birth of the blank slime and looked around in confusion. It joined the newly formed army of slime and wanted to travel with its own tribe, but due to different colors, it was unable to communicate and was kicked out by slime. Blank slime desperately uses his movements to express himself. The newborn slime has very low intelligence, and children around 1 or 2 years old do not understand the behavior of blank slime, thinking that it is going to attack it. A large group of slimes surrounded it and beat him hard. Slim's attack damage is very low, just like scratching an itch. Although the blank slime is not physically injured, its heart is very painful, and it doesn't understand why its heart hurts. Afterwards, I saw the watchdog and Goo Goo open their mouths and cooperate harmoniously. Blank slime was very envious, if only he could also communicate with his peers. So it craves to have a mouth and the ability to communicate. The incident of blank slime suddenly reminded Goo Goo of a famous scholar in the game who once said that slime is a group of creatures chasing wisdom. They pursue wisdom, they crave wisdom, and wisdom abandons them. End of this chapter.